back to the vlog. This is Susie from Thread Quarters. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I am doing a show and tell vlog as well as plans on what I'm going to be making over the next little while. I was going to do them separately, but turns out I've only got two things to show you that I have made recently, so that won't take very long. And the first one actually has its own vlog dedicated to it, so if you've already seen it, it's no surprise. It is this top here, and this is the Maya top by Marilla Walker, I think, with a couple of tweaks to it that you can find on the Tessuti blog. I've got a sew along for this top actually, not this exact one, but a nice rusty brown one, so I'll put a link for that below if you'd like a nice beginner friendly top sew along. But this top here was made with beautiful cyanotype printing with this lovely ferns, and you can see the back here. And as I said, I've got a whole vlog all about making it and sort of my tips for working with cyanotype printing. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a link down below and you can check that one out. My other make is the Florence top by Merchant & Mills, and I made it in this beautiful bottle green Dotty About Dots viscose by Lady McElroy, which I did have in stock, but I believe, yeah, I only have, I think, a ½ meter remnant left. It's not even on the website actually yet. I'm not even sure what anyone could make out of ½ meter, whether anyone would be interested in it. But I do have it in this navy, which I'm going to talk about in a second because I have plans for that for myself. But this top was, it's sort of a unusual shape. It's very voluminous and has such a large frill on it. But I've seen a few of them popping up on Instagram and I thought, yeah, I want to give that a go. I think maybe in a cotton lawn or poplin it's going to stick out quite a lot, and well, I mean that would look fab on so many people, but I just thought I think I'll go with the viscose for mine. And wow, it is so fun to wear. It's so swishy. You're gonna see from the cutaways how swishy it is, and that frill at the back, how big it is. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoyed making it. It's definitely a little bit tricky working with this viscose round the neckline, because the neckline is by itself bias bound, so it's very shifty and fiddly, and I probably could have done with putting a pop of spray starch on it to sort of keep it in place. I'm only realizing that in hindsight. I kind of wish I had done that, but I mean I did a good enough job, it's fine. But do bear that in mind if you are ever making bias binding out of viscose. It is shifty. It has a really cute button back detail, which I like a lot. Just, you know, adding a little extra detail. It totally doesn't need it. You can just about pop it on over your head. Maybe you need to do the top button, undo the top button, depends how low down you've popped it. And just 3 buttons, so you can really sort of make a nice little feature out of it. I always struggle picking my buttons for projects. I don't know why. I'm actually very bad at making decisions, so I took a while deciding which ones I would use, and actually I made an emergency purchase to Textile Garden for some buttons, and then I went to town on ordering buttons from her because I love all of her buttons. If you don't know Textile Garden, check her out. She's basically just buttons, and oh, they are stunning. The light keeps changing, sorry, that's just one of these autumnal days where the sun's in and out of the clouds, so sorry about that. But I'll show you the buttons that I ended up going with. See if it'll focus for me. There we go. So these are like glittery beetles on a white shell background, I think. Come on, there we go. They're very lovely. But yeah, very, very cute. And these are the first buttonholes that I've done on my new Pfaff sewing machine. So I was kind of nervous because my old sewing machine really didn't like doing buttonholes and always played up, and I have hated buttonholes because of that sewing machine, but these ones went in really well, so whew, very happy about that. I'm still to test out the ultimate buttonhole test for my machine, which would be on the collar stand of a shirt or on the waistband of a skirt. All those bulky seams around where you're doing the buttonhole, my old machine could not handle at all. So if you look back at some of my old shirts that I might have made, quite a lot of them don't have a buttonhole on the collar stand, because I was like, I just can't do it. Any tips? Throw them my way if you have any tips for how to make sure your machine doesn't lose the plot with all the seams that are around the likes of a button stand or you know, the collar stand or waistband. Throw them my way, because whenever I do get around to doing a buttonhole, which will be soon, I want all the tips and suggestions. Anyway, back to this top. Really fun floaty top that I very much enjoyed sewing up, and I'm really going to enjoy wearing it. I've got something in my plans that I think will pair really nicely with it, so I'm excited to get that made up whenever I get a chance, and a few other bits and bobs later down the line that I also think will look nice with this shirt, blouse, and I'll just pair it with some cardigans so I could see me wearing it into the autumn as well, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, one funny thing, I cut out the front frill wrong, and I put the where you're supposed to place it on a fold, I put it the wrong way around. So my fold was on the outer edges rather in the middle. So there is actually a seam down the center front of my frill here, but because of this print you can't tell at all, and because it's a lot of gathers, it didn't matter that I lost a little bit of seam allowance there. It really didn't make any difference to the pattern at all. So see, we all make these mistakes. Easily done. Thankfully that one was easily fixed too. I didn't have to recut and get some more fabric and all of that, so okay. So those are the two things that I have made recently. I haven't done an awful lot of sewing because I've been working really hard on getting my fabric shop up and running, and also my sewing classes up and running, and all being well, that the restrictions don't tighten, and all the safety measures I've put in place for my classes are okay. I've tried my absolute best to make the classes as safe as possible, and I'm trying to get them up and running in the next month or so. All the details are on my website now, so if you're a local and you're interested in learning to sew, or maybe progressing to dressmaking, or sewing with jersey, because that's something I have set up now as well. I've got a jersey class and an overlocking class. So you can find all that information on my website if you're interested. But yeah, so once I get all that up and running, I have a few sewing plans that I want to finally get to. So I'm going to chat them through with you now. Why is it so hard for me to say? I've definitely had a practice of vlogging for sure. So I've got a couple of fabrics from my shop that I'm going to be using. So I'll start with those first. And I'm going to use this lovely viscose here. Beautiful. I've named this Summer Breeze, and this is in the pink colorway. There was a blue colorway, but it's pretty much sold out now. I think I've just got a little remnant of it left. But I love this pink one. Show you it up close. with the reds and oranges on it. I think it's very, very pretty. And I am going to make the infamous Wilder gown, but I'm going to make just the top version because I think that would be really nice with jeans, and also I have a denim skirt that I think it would look really lovely with as well. So yeah, just with that floaty viscose, I thought it would obviously work perfectly with that sort of gathered neck and voluminous sleeves. I'm looking forward to giving that a go. I was hoping to get that sewn up this week, but time has just gotten away with me and I haven't had a chance at all. So I don't know, maybe if I could grab an hour or so this weekend, maybe I'll be able to get a start on that, because it's all cut out, ready to go. The other thing that I have cut out is some of this fabric here, which, as you will notice, is the blue colorway of the Dotty About Dots, and this is in navy. Very beautiful. This is a Lady McElroy viscose, and I am going to make the, I think it's called the Hillary top by Tessuti Patterns. If it's not called the Hillary top, I'll have something else written on the screen to tell you the right name. And it has a peplum, but I have seen some people change that up and not use the peplum and just extend down the bodice, and I quite like that. I think I would use it a bit more, but I really like the neckline and the unusual way that the sleeves and the neckline are joined at the shoulders. There's a little bit of elastic there, and it just gives a nice bit of structure and interest. I love patterns that have just a little detail, so like with the Merchant and Mills Florence, with that button band at the back and the wider frill at the back, shorter frill at the front, you know, just those little added details really elevate a pattern, don't they? So that's what I liked about the Hillary top, I think. So again, I have this cut out, so it's just a matter of getting going and sewing it up. But that is a very beautiful fabric, and it's going to drape beautifully for that pattern. So I'll just pop these back in. Okay, and next I'm going to chat about a couple of patterns that I'm going to sew up for potential sewing classes, and one is the Tilly and the Buttons Ness, which is your classic sort of jeans skirt. I've actually looked around on online and various different pattern companies to see if there's any other pattern companies that do this type of skirt, and I have not seen very many, or if they do, they don't do a very good range of sizes. And if I'm going to do this for a sewing class, I want to make sure that it is accessible to as many people as possible. And a lot of sewing pattern companies, big sewing pattern companies, don't have the sizing that I need, and Tilly is doing much better these days with her sizing, and it is for a larger range. So I thought I'll give this a go. It's got some really great reviews and some great versions on it. Obviously I'm not going to make a pattern, I'm not going to make a class with a pattern that I don't like, so I have to test it out first. So I'm going to test it out with some fabric from my stash. It's not from my shop, and it is this lovely bodily green. Is that focusing? It's got some fluff on it, sorry. Twill weave. Yeah, it's I think Robert Kaufman cotton twill. What is it called? Ventana twill? I'm not sure. I bought it from the Dab Hand, actually, which is another online fabric shop based in Northern Ireland. So if you've never heard of them, do check them out below. They've got some really beautiful fabrics. And I bought this one and also a beautiful blue one, which I'm I mean, you know, in the distant future of my multi-million plans that I have, we'll be making a pair of trousers out of blue. But this, I'm going to be making the nest skirt. And, I mean, green and green, I think it's okay. I've got this, and I think they're going to look really cute together. So yeah, that's an incentive to sew it up. Got all the notions for it. So yeah, I just need to get cracking and get sewing it and see if it's good for a class. I really hope so. And a little bit more sewing for a sewing class. This is one that I have already launched, but I just wanted to make a couple more samples just to really showcase the pattern that I'm going to be using. It's for my complete beginners dressmaking course, and I did used to use the Tilly and the Buttons Stevie pattern for that, and you could make a top or a dress. It has grown on sleeves, no bust darts, and a tie at the back. And although it was great because you didn't get bogged down in too many details, I actually thought, you know what, this is not setting people up enough for their dressmaking journey, and I want to teach them more skills in my beginners dressmaking class than the Stevie offers. So I looked around and I found this pattern here, which off the top of my head I totally can't remember, but you'll see it on the screen. And it is just your classic shift top. It's got bust darts, it's got neck facings, it's got set-in sleeves. You're going to be doing your hemming and all that. That was the same with the Stevie, but it's getting your set-in sleeves, learning that skill, and learning the all-important bust dart skill. And also I've got this pattern as well, a Burda pattern. Again, I can't remember the number, but you'll see the picture on the screen, and that is to take the sizing up even further, and it's as close to the first pattern as I could find. The third version C, I'm going to guess it's called, has the normal neckline, normal sleeves, classic shift top bust darts, but larger sizing, so that I can be as inclusive as possible. I don't want someone coming to a class and my pattern doesn't fit them. That's not very nice, is it? So I am sewing up, I have sewn up a couple of the tops already. And I've got this one nearly finished, so I'm just sharing you this just as something I'm going to get done. And it's in this lovely Ikat fabric that again, I've just had it in my stash, and it's all crinkled. I've used just white for the facing there, because it is slightly sheer. You can see it's slightly sheer. So you would end up seeing the spots if I had used the same fabric there. So I've got that in, and all I need to do is hem it. But because I only had a tiny bit of fabric, it's quite cropped. So I want to hem it with some more, excuse me. I want to hem it with some more of the white, and that's just that little extra bit of work rather than just folding up a couple of times and throwing a line of stitches around it. So that's why I haven't come around to doing it, but that'll get done. And then I want to make it up in some of this Lady McElroy single ladies cotton lawn, because I think it's fab. And I just think, you know, if you've got a patterned fabric such as this, hello lovely ladies, you don't want to pick a pattern that has too many details and gathers and pleats and pattern pieces that cut off the pattern. So something nice and simple like my shift top, shell top, really will showcase the fabric beautifully, and I just thought that would be very nice. And then the blue is going to be nice with jeans and things like that. So I'm gonna get that sewn up for a class. And finally, I have frivolous sewing that I kind of want to prioritize, to be honest, because it's my birthday next month. I'm going to be 40 on the 15th of October, if you want to send me a happy birthday on the 15th. And I just want to make some nice dresses to wear. I won't be going anywhere because we have lockdown in place because of COVID. I won't be having people over because we won't be allowed to. I might go out for dinner, so if that's the case, I will hopefully have a nice dress to wear. And I have picked two fabrics, one from my stash and one from the shop that is now in my stash. So I will show you that one first. And it's a little bit wrinkly because it's been washed and I haven't ironed it. It is Lady McElroy, again, Field of Flowers viscose. So, oh, look, I just love the colours. See how much I smile when I pulled it up. It's beautiful. And I don't know what I'm going to make, but a beautiful floaty dress of some sort. If you got any suggestions, pop them in the comments below. I was thinking about, I think it's called the Elodie wrap dress by Closet Core Patterns, their new dress that they've got. I have that pattern, might make that, but I'm concerned about gaping at the bust. I have a feeling if it doesn't have a little popper there, as soon as you sit down, it's just going to gape open, which I don't like. I'm also very, very tempted with the Deer and Doe Magnolia pattern, but my friend Kathy has already made that dress out of this fabric, and I feel like I can't make the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just outright copying her. But it is honestly so beautiful, and I just want that dress too. The chances of both wearing it at the same time are very, very, very unlikely. So maybe I should just do it. Maybe I'll ask her permission first. Or if you have any other suggestions, please tell me of what I could make with that, because yeah, and it needs to be soon. That's why I want to prioritize it, because I only have a month. Less than a month now, actually. And this last fabric, I wish I had this in stock. Oh, you just saw a wee bit there, didn't you? I wish I had it in stock. I had to hunt it down. I saw someone on Instagram wearing something that they'd made out of this fabric, and I stopped dead in my tracks. I couldn't breathe. It was so beautiful. And I tried to find it online, and I couldn't find it everywhere. And I Google search and Google search and Google search. Found quite a lot of it in America. So if you're in America, you'll be able to get it a bit easier. But I managed to track it down in a shop. It might be in Scotland. I bought it. I don't know if they have any left. If they do, I'll put the link down below. I have also tried to see if I can stock it, but I think it's an old, you know, out of print pattern. So maybe not. If I can, I will. Because oh my god, I just love it so much. It's a viscose. It's by, who's it by? It's called Botanica for Moda. It's Moda Fabrics, and it's rayon, sorry, because this is American. Botanica. Oh, so beautiful. I just love those colors. See that poppy? Oh, I love it. And again, just a big, I think I've got 3 meters off it, so I have the potential to do something beautiful. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit frivolous to have 2 special dresses for my birthday, but then you only turn 40 once. I got to make the most of it. So yeah, those are my plans and a couple of little makes that I have done recently. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do like the video and subscribe if you want to be updated when I put up a new video. And pop a little comment down below. Let's hear what you're planning or what you've been making recently. And I hope you all have a lovely weekend, lovely week, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye guys.